Disclaimer: the views expressed in this video are solely for entertainment purposes. This is just a video to help those who have, are thinking about getting, or want sister locks. Ultimately, you have to choose the right thing to do for your hair. Enjoy.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Amber Denise. If you are subscribed in, welcome back. So typically you guys see me just sitting and talking in front of my backdrop, but behind me today, I am joined by my lovely Loctician Nicole, and I would like for you guys to just chat with us for a little bit. I'm going to be talking with her about some things pertaining to sister locks and the process, and I figured it would be helpful for you all to just enjoy. So first we're going to introduce her. I did do a video with Nicole back in October, and I'm going to put the link to that video here where we talked about some pretty good topics as well. So definitely check that out. But for those of you that are new to the channel, because I have so many new subscribers, I want her to just take a moment and just introduce herself.
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Nicole. I'm in Amber's head because I am working. I have been a Sister Lock Loctician for 3 years now, I believe. Oh God, what do I say? Probably a little different than October, right? Yeah. Let's see. This is my place. This is what I do primarily. I do sister locks. I also do traditional locks when someone can get in. And I counsel on the side. I don't know what else to say.
Well, no, that's good, because okay, in my comment section, like on a lot of my videos, people ask about you. Like I put your information in my description box and everything like that. And, you know, people are always commenting and talking about how beautiful my locks are. So I thought it would be good for you guys to see the lady responsible from day one. She started my sister locks, and she has been maintaining them for a little over a year now. And yeah, so I wanted to just kind of first start talking about, now that it's a year, when I first did the video, I was new to it, you know, so we talked about the cost, we talked about the labor that goes into it. But now that it's kind of been like a year, I want to kind of talk about patience, because I've learned a lot about that so far with sister locks, and how, you know, when they say like, look, this is love for y'all, because she working and I'm making a video for y'all, but this is just trusting the process. You know, we hear it in the sister lock community a lot, but I wanted to get like from an actual loctician and someone that has sister locks in her hair currently, what does it mean to you? Like, what does that phrase even mean? Like, what have you seen it mean?
To trust the process. So, oh God. So let me just warn y'all about something, okay? Amber knows that for me, this is so much more than just hair. And so when she asks a question like trusting the process, I think Amber knew that it was going to be more than just about trusting, you know, how long it would take for your hair to grow. So one thing that I've learned about sister locks, and trust me, there's so many people out here, so many more people out here who has far more experience than I do, is that it's all about transition. When someone decides to get sister locks, more times than not, they are in some kind of phase of transition in their life. So whether it be I'm transitioning to a new job, I've heard that today, heard that I'm exercising my freedom, my hair freedom. I am just trying something different. I no longer want to be a slave to this, or, accustomed to doing that. Is all about transition. And so one of the things that I've learned is that when we make a decision to go down a certain path, and in this case it is sister locks, prior to getting started on that journey, we have an idea of where we want to go and what it's going to look like. What we don't take into account is being on that journey and what we have to endure during the process. And so the whole thing about it is women will come in here, and I was one, trust me, because I'm definitely as much of a client as I am a consultant. My business is 3 years old. My sister locks are 3 years old. And so one of the things that I've learned is that people will come in, they'll have these pictures. They'll be stalking, pages. They've already found a hair crush. They know what they want their hair to look like. And now when they get started on their journey and they've made their investment, it's like, yeah, but this is not what I thought. Or when is my hair going to look like this? Or when is this going to happen? When are they going to lock up? When can I color? You're not trusting the process. This is, although this is different than maybe some more traditional locks where, it might take some time to lock. And so there's some things you have to be careful of. The thing about it is that it still has to go through its different phases in its transition. And so when somebody say to trust the process, it means to sit back and enjoy every step of it. And a lot of people don't do that because it doesn't look like what the end result is or the intended result is of their hair. They get anxious. They don't like it. I've had people cry. Some people love it. Don't get me wrong. Some people love it. Okay. So I'm not saying it's everybody, right? So, well, let me talk for me. Okay. I did not like my hair. Okay. I did not. One of the issues that I had, and this is once again, trusting the process, part of me fixing this mask, but talking with the mask and working is a little hard. Let me use me for an example. Okay. I always wore, since I was young, I've always had big fake hair because my natural hair wasn't big and long. So I've always worn big hair. And so with SISTERLOCKS, and then I was a little natural. And then, with the, my natural curl texture, my hair appeared bigger than what it was. So when I got SISTERLOCKS, it displayed all my imperfections. I did not realize I had so much thinning on my sides, because I was able to wear bangs. I did not really fully accept the fact that my forehead was as big as it was. And now I have to wear it exposed. And these were my insecurities. And so one of the things that I've learned about this process is that you get to know you. This is the raw form of you. And so now when you look in a mirror, you see yourself. So there's so much that you're learning about you, about the way you look, about what you like, about what you don't like. That is like all of this coming up. And so when you say the process is so much more to the process than when can my hair be down my back. Okay, it's so much more to that process. It's so much more that we learn to identify about ourselves. I mean, it's such a beautiful reflection of the transition that most women are in their life when they decide to get this style. Did I even answer your question with all of that I just said?
Yes.
Okay.
You did, and
okay.
Only the way I knew you were going to.
Okay. Okay.
That's the first thing I wanted to start off with this particular video, because again, I heard it all the time, even when I was like researching getting SISTERLOCKS. Mm-hmm. And again, like you just said, when I think trust the process, trust it along the way. Whatever it does, just know that it's meant to do, as long as you do what you're supposed to do. And just kind of find every step of the moment, try to find joy in it. Yeah. So, but for me, I'm happy that you spoke on that. And I'm so happy you brought that up in this video, because those people that have been watching me know from the day I got these, I was in love. Mm-hmm. So I come from a very different perspective with my SISTERLOCKS. So for me, I've never had a gripe with the way they look. So trusting the process for me was very different than trusting the process for you or for somebody else, And like every time I come on here every Sunday, I can only speak from my perspective about things. So I felt like it was nice to, have someone else talk about that, what that meant to them. And I know a lot of ladies in my comment section, they're very transparent with me about it. And a lot of them said what you said. Mm-hmm. Like, because I made a video about the ugly phase as well. And a lot of ladies, said, oh, I don't feel like I've ever had an ugly phase. And then some ladies was like you just said, that insecurity, those, it just was different. It's a different look than what we might be used to in our community, So another thing when it comes to this process, and we're starting to hear a lot of people talk about, is these curly ends. Mm-hmm. That everybody wants, that everybody is like, going crazy over with SISTERLOCKS. And I had them. I still kind of have them. My ends are still like kind of, I'm noticing they're going from being tightly coiled to like kind of loose, something like loose Z's kind of. But I'm starting to see where women are like picking the end of their locks or cutting the ends so they can get curly, or like conditioning the ends. I wanted to ask about that. You've seen these locks every different stage. I don't think that that's healthy for the integrity of your SISTERLOCKS.
You're correct. I'm not a YouTube person, so I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know that this is what people were doing, and that they were actually making videos even about it.
Yeah, they admire them. It's not like a huge following of it, but I'm starting to notice more and more. Because it's like, oh, that's so cute how it curls at the end.
Yes.
I don't want the curly end to go away. You know, and I don't want it to become a huge, I hope it doesn't become a huge thing in this community, because there's a lot of new people that's coming into the community. And I don't want them to get on YouTube and see this and be like, oh, this is a thing? Curly ends. And that's thing, you know, you have this whole thing. So that's why I kind of wanted to ask you, you know, your opinion about that.
So the funny thing is, I'm probably one of those people thinking that it's something personal to me. So I don't particularly, I wouldn't say that my ends are, well, they're kind of open. I like it personally. I don't really like the sealed ends. And this is why. And now I'm coming from not even a personal perspective, but more from what I've seen. When I'm going to style people's hair and the ends are out, let's say something as simple as a bun. You know, if I go to put your hair in a bun, it's just easier to tuck if the ends are not that sealed tight, you know, fully locked in. So for me, for styleability, I've liked it. Now, I never did it to achieve a particular look, and with mine, my locks at the end is just what it is. You know, I never picked them, I never cut them, I never did anything, but I am happy that they have not completely sealed. You know, now when I first got them in, based on, you know, what I knew of SISTERLOCKS, with the locking process starting from the bottom, I always thought that that's one of the first things that was going to happen, because it was a sign of maturity in my locks. So really, at that time when I was getting them, that's the anticipation. You know, it was like, oh, when are my locks going to close up, because, or the ends going to seal, because then I know that, you know, my locks are settled in. And so as time went on and mine didn't do it, but I know that my locks are settled, I was completely fine with the fact if they never close, it's fine. So it's a thing of, you know, I think for some people it just might be, once again, for styleability, how they feel about it, the look, and that's fine. When you were asking the question, though, it made me think about the original question about transition. And so this is the thing with transition. You are learning about your hair. And so now people are learning that, wait a minute, my hair might be a little bit more tightly coiled than I anticipated. Or with the people who have like these ends that probably will never lock. You know, this is just a part of my process. This is a part of my journey. So once again, for people who are manipulating their hair, they're not necessarily trusting the process or accepting what their hair does naturally. It's probably not that deep. It's probably something that they like to do, but you know, you're not fully embracing what your hair does naturally. You know, if my ends lock, excuse me, if my ends lock naturally, then they're just gonna lock naturally. I'm definitely not going to cut them, because like you did say, it can compromise the integrity of the lock. That's your base. For the most part, at the bottom is where we start, and so you want to think about those things, right? You could be settled. You don't know what it is that you might be doing. Me personally, I would never consider. I even as a consultant wouldn't necessarily cut my own locks. I would leave that up to my consultant. You know, because once again, I just don't want to compromise the integrity of my locks just for the sake of a look. But I'm not knocking anybody who prefers that look, because I am a person who prefers that look.
Okay. And see, that's why I wanted to bring it up, because I like I said, the way my ends are too, and I'm noticing as the year has gone on, my ends are not as curly. Like some ends they're getting kind of bushy. They're just kind of changing. Like I said, sometimes where they're like this Z, this like open Z. And I didn't know. So you're saying that sometimes locks can settle and be, no slippage or anything with the ends not fully locked.
Right. And so then it goes into so much more. So like I'm looking at your ends, right? And yes, your ends are probably far more open than I want them to be.